Welcome to another edition of the SpareTime podcast. And on this edition, our special guest is Bruno Bidone of the Promotion Tour fame. So welcome, Bruno. Nice to see you again.
Hi, very happy to meet you again.
Yes, it was only a few months ago about 2 months ago that we spent about almost 2 weeks, which you won the Promotion Tour in various bowling centres around France. So tell us, what's the Promotion Tour all about?
Promotion Tour is a long story because we start this event 10 years ago now. This is an event made for television. So this is an event for the players, but for the televisions too. So this is very special.
So what was the idea behind starting the Promotion Tour? Where did you get the idea from?
The idea is from when I bowl in America, because I go in the PBA a long time ago for PBA experience. So because I go in America in 20 years ago, I think, and I play with the best players of the globe. So I watch the TV show, the best TV production, and the big company for the broadcasting. So I'm very interested by this. And after, when I back in Europe and in my country, I decide to become a producer. So I try to give my best to organize the best TV production in France. And I deal with Eurosport. It's a big sport channel in Europe. And this is the first experience. And now we work with many TV stations. So it is very incredible because I'm not a producer. It's not my job. In first, I only play. And now it's my full job to produce. So very, very cool.
Talking about your bowling career, firstly, how did you get into bowling?
Yes, I play bowling, but in first I'm a soccer player because I'm Italian and French. My father is Italian, my mother is French. And when I stopped to play soccer, my father think he's crazy, Bruno is crazy, because but I go in the bowling center first for family, with my family for fun. And 3 years after my first experience, I go with the partners of soccer team. The father of these people honor a center, and I learn with this team in Draguignan in southern France, and the two sons bowl on Team France, and I practice with this player. So, and after I love the game and I play only bowling. So,
So, like you mentioned for Team France, when I did my research, it said you were 13 when you first got your call up to the French national team. What was it like, especially at the age of 13? I mean, I'm 16 and I've never had the privilege to bowl for my nation yet, but hopefully one day. What was it like bowling for France, and what was it like representing them at a European event?
Yeah, I start at 13, 1 and 3, 13, yes. And I selected in Team France at 18. So I played 2 or 3 years, I think, for in a good level. But after the first year, I coach with the best in France, and I good opportunity to involve the Team France. And it's okay, I go. And after I have some good experience with Finn and Sweden players and American college bowling in Wichita, in Kansas area. And I learn a lot with foreign players, because in France, the level is not the best of the world 20 years ago, because now we have good players. But 20 years ago, for the young players, we are not the best. And we talk with many Finland players and Sweden players to understand more about our sport.
I mean, talking about sort of your bowling journey in itself, for me and a lot of European bowlers, the big stages of the PBA, and you've been fortunate enough to compete in the PBA, and I suppose there's a big sort of stigma and a big sort of roadblock as to how you jump from Europe to the PBA in America, and you yourself have done this. What was it like becoming the first French player to bowl in the PBA, and what was the differences, and sort of how did you manage that?
Yes, it's a crazy story because first, to summarize, I was first on development agent for PBA in Southern Europe area for the organization and promotional events. And after, the PBA president say me, Bruno, why you don't come in America to trying to bowl with our players? So I trying and I go on the tour. I think it's 2000, during the year of 2000, and during this period to become a member is very hard because we need to be co-opted by bowling industry people and players. So I have some good contact. He deal with me and he seen my card and I go in America to play. Now it's very different because it's possible to go to the regional tour, and after we go trying to bowl the national tour. Me, I go directly on national tour, and it's crazy experience. So I learn a lot.
Mm-hmm. So obviously, I'm fortunate enough to be sponsored by Pro Bowl this year. And when you went to the PBA, Ebonite picked you up. What was it like getting the call from Ebonite and saying, we want you to represent our brand?
Yeah, Ebonite. I organized exhibition for Ebonite with the president of the. During this period is Mike Critter. Mike Critter, after a big organization in Europe, he agreed to offer to me international staff position like a player. So I agree, of course, and I go in America to bowl for this brand. And I bowled 7 tournaments on the national tour.
Yeah. We're going to just turn it back to the ProMotion Tour because I think it's worthy of talking a little bit more about this because it's quite a unique thing that you've created over the last 10 years. I mean, before we did it, I didn't really fully understand exactly what it was, but having spent 10 days with you in France this year, now I do. And for people watching, if they don't understand what the ProMotion Tour is, we did spend 10 days going around lots of bowling centres in France, and I don't know how many. I lost track. All over France, from the northern part of France right down into the southern part was Poitiers, was the furthest south we went. And each of the locations, there was 2 competitions in play. There was a singles competition, and there was also a team competition as well. And at the end, there was for the top players, there was the Masters, and the Masters was televised on a number of different TV networks. Now, you said earlier on that you were initially playing at creating TV, but now you're a real TV producer. So did your career happen as a direct result of the ProMotion Tour?
Yeah. I think first 3 years is very small. We start only on one side, only one center, and only one TV. But the first TV is Eurosport, so this is a big TV. And we start not with the ideas to become and to grow the event like for 10 days. Now it's a 10 days period. It's very long because our deal, I have a connection with many other sport organizations, and you come in our tour. You know Marc Chavet is a Tour de France speaker, official speaker. So I like Tour de France, and the concept of our tour is very similar to the Tour de France. It's very same. We move every day to city. We have a new center. For the player, I think it's very good because it's very hard to bowl 6 games in the center with a pattern and lanes, and we change, and another 6 games, and we change, and another 6 games. It's very difficult, and but it's the charm of this event. And we have political people to help us during this tour, and it is an obligation for us to visit cities, different area, different region. So this is a long construction, but now the event is more grow. is more big, and we're trying to have the best players of the world, like American players, but maybe our European players too, like young players, because we're trying to have young players. It's better for the TV. And we're trying to have Asia area for next year. We have contact in Japan now and in Korea. So I think next year is very a big event.
Yeah, I think that to have a commentator of the caliber of Marc Chavez is great. I mean, we don't see. I like you. I like the Tour de France. I watch it every year. I have since 1985. We don't see Marc in the UK because we have our own commentators. But the beauty of Marc is that he is French American, so he can speak he can speak English and he can speak fluent French, and it's great for the channels that you have. So it's put out on a number of network channels as well as YouTube, and I think you've developed that over the years. What do you see as the future for the promotion tour?
I think we have a good deal with our channel in France. Is Olympic channel, is Sport en France. We have good deal because each Monday at 8:30. So actually, we have one match on this channel with multiple repetition, re-air during 1 week, and we have a schedule of today from the last week, to March for the next year. We have a good digital programmation now with YouTube, as well as Caffeine TV. Caffeine TV is like a Fox. It's a Fox platform, digital in America. We have a deal. We air all matches of our tour on this channel. We have another American channel, is One Sport in New York area. We have many local stations to go from Washington to Cleveland, to go on the Green Lake, like Buffalo, area, and we have many channels. It's very incredible, and I hope for next year to have an Asia area channel for the airing. So this is very interesting for us to have many different players, women and men, young and little more old, and international distribution. So the future for us is very excited, and we hope to grow the event every year.
Okay, yeah. I mean, the camaraderie was great on the tour. Everybody got on so well. There were some fantastic people that we met, and I know for Ben's benefit, as a result of the tour, he decided to go from 1 to 200 bowling, and that was a direct result of the tour. So you can't say more than that to get an event where you completely decide to change your game in a fundamental way. So it's been fantastic, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm. I mean, for me, the tour was like, I went there and I'd heard of maybe one or two people bowling. Martin, I'd met him about, I think, probably going on 7 years ago before I'd gone on the tour. And I think to be around people like Martin and all these such great bowlers, and especially Jaime, to be surrounded by these bowlers for 2 weeks, and usually you'd expect, they're these big bowlers and and these are the top level, and it's sort of a dream come true. But I think I kind of expected, for the most part, these bowlers to sort of be quite closed off and get on with what they're doing, and it just sort of be like a normal bowling competition where you arrive, you bowl, and then you go to your hotel and you appear the next day for breakfast or whatever. But it was completely different. I mean, Martin, he was down playing Uno with all of us every night. We were all playing Uno, and it's not little money we're talking about on this prize fund. This prize fund's like 10 grand for first place. And I think what makes this sport so special is the fact of there is little other amount of sports in the world where you can have 10 grand as a first place and you can have thousands of pounds at stake, and people just get along and just have fun and just enjoy themselves. And I think for me as an individual, I learned so much from bowling on that tour. I mean, I've made some great friends, Gwendal, Stanislas, Heloise, all these people, you've made great friends with, and, they didn't even speak the same language as me. And, I've not only changed my bowling style from one-handed to two-handed, which is going quite well, actually. And hopefully next year, I'll come back and make TV. because I missed out. But I'm learning French because you sort of get to know all these people, and the community is so supportive. But for anyone who's kind of interested in getting involved, like what would you tell them if people are interested in being involved in the tour?
Yeah, the first question we ask for the players is we're trying to explain that the tour is to help us to promote our sport. So, and we're trying to make a team concept, like in soccer or in the bicycle. So, team concept is very important for us. So, for the players, we're trying to have a portfolio. I think is good portfolio, a portfolio, international portfolio, with people come and attract a team with a team captain, and the team is the first thinking of the players come. After we have the singles events. So the singles event is very different. It's a masters, but during the first 2 days we bowl in team, and the team concept for TV is good because in Europe, I think, and in the rest of the world, I think bowling it's a singles sport. But for general public, I think it's better to create a team concept, to create fan base for the team, and it's better for us for TV to create stories to develop concept with the team. So the first thinking is trying to think team, and we come in the event, and after we have the singles tournament. So singles tournaments we have more money, and team is just for the promotion. But the promotion is very important now with the team concept to attract new sponsors. So
yeah,
this is the deal with the TV. So
I mean, I think a big part about the tour is originally we started in St. Lo. This is a bowling alley like I've never seen before in my life. I'll try and put a picture up if I can find one. But this, usually you're used to bowling in a bowling alley with maybe 20, 30 lanes, and that's it. This is a bowling alley underneath a city with 6 lanes in. That is the smallest thing in the world you've ever seen, but it had so much personality. And I think to go from there to Bayer, where you're bowling in like this huge center, and then especially Rennes as well, these huge big centers. I mean, I remember on the morning when we got there, I arrived with I think Kenny was next to me, and we sort of walked in the center, and straight away the first thing that I thought when I walked in the center was, I feel like I'm in Vegas again, because the sort of the caliber of centers in France, I feel like it's something that you wouldn't get anywhere else. And I feel like the whole experience, it gave me that feeling of in 5-10 years time when I'm bowling on the PBA tour, that's what it's going to feel like. And I think I remember it's set up so well. And we were practicing. Obviously, I didn't make the singles event, but I made the team event, and we were practicing before we did our team event, etc. You step on the lane and you see this bowling alley in Poitiers become a TV studio in front of your eyes, and then you're sort of practicing, you're having fun, and you're getting ready, you're psyching yourself up for this event. But then once you get on TV, all of the cameras just disappear, and I think the sort of the experience that it gives you of like, this is a taste of what it's like at the top, is so valuable for every bowler. And I mean, as far as the tour goes, how do you see it progressing? Where do you see it going? What do you want to happen with the tour?
Sorry, I don't understand the question.
Sort of, what are your plans, like long-term plans?
Okay. The plan is to grow the tour players' participation, because we have a 24-30 basis. So we're trying to have 5-0, 6-0 players to have maybe 10 team. In this case, we have more prize fund. Is better for the players, so to have a big prize pool. And the beginning of the last year, for example, for the team, we're trying to have more team days. With, if we have more players, more team days. So this is a new concept. We don't know today because we need to have some answer for the players. If we have more players in January, we think we change a little the rules. So more TV days maybe for the teams, and maybe 3 days of TV production, not 2. So for us, it's better because we have 36 matches, and today is 24. So maybe more TV teams for next year. And you know the PBA teams events. This is the same. Yeah, we're trying to have the same concept with European players, maybe some American teams, and maybe some Asia teams. And I think it's a good time to go in this direction because in Europe, bowling is not on the general public thinking like a sport. But I think with the TV rating we have now on a different channel, I think it's time to go and to grow with the players, with the sponsors, the event. So the plan is to work with the players, the sponsor, the television. So three parts.
I mean, I think for me, in England, we have nothing like the teams. And to bowl a Baker team, it was great because, you know, it was the draft. I love the system and how it works. So you can end up with anyone. So it's a fair system. And I ended up with 3 people that spoke French, and I obviously don't speak French. So it was a barrier and it was difficult, but we gelled very quickly. And I think the atmosphere, especially when bowling teams, was a lot better than, your standard individual event because you're looking out for your team. You're celebrating when your team strike. I mean, you just got to look at people like Austin and stuff. When they struck in the team event, they were going at it. They were, you can see the passion. You can see that people have developed chemistry over the time. And I think to have something like that, I mean, the year before I came, you had a Team France, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, you had a Team France. I think if in the future we can possibly do, get more people from the same country, and you could do Team France versus Team England, or stuff like that. I feel like that could be a very exciting concept. So I think everything around the teams excites me. It's very promising, and for me to be able to bowl on the tour it's very exciting for me.
Yeah. Sorry.
So do you still bowl, Bruno?
I stopped to bowl, I think 3 years ago now, but it's possible to bowl again. But it's a full-time job now. The organization, the Bowling Promotion Tour, it's very, very busy working. So it's very difficult to play and to organize. So I decide to organize, to give my best energy on the organization, and I prefer to stop to play. So. Mm-hmm. But it's possible to coach maybe one team.
Yeah, so I'm wondering, obviously everyone gets that piece of advice that sort of leads them on. And I mean, for me personally, there's been lots of different advice. I mean, the things that resonate with me are not so much like advice, but more of like, there's a quote that says, don't stop competing until you can't compete anymore. And things like that. So sort of what's the best type of advice or tips you've been given or can give to someone?
Sorry, the best
advice for bowling.
When I play?
Yeah, if you could tell someone some advice, what would you?
Yes, for players. Yeah, to believe in yourself. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because bowling is very mentally games. So if you don't believe in yourself, it's not possible to become a good player. So believe in yourself and play with your dream is very important. So I think you're bowling two-handed to use change. So it is your goal. I remember when you come, you ask me, Bruno, maybe if I come next year, I bowl two-hand and you bowl two-hand. So it is your dream. So go and you, if you have a dream, go in this direction. It is my concept.
So if you had one really interesting bowling story you could tell, what would it be?
it's not easy, but my first time when I ball on PBA, I ball with the best. I'm very impressive. Yes, impressive. I ball with players. This Dave D'Entremont. He's dead. I think 5 years ago. I think he balled with me 9-game block, and during the 9-game block, he balled 300, and I ball with him, and it's crazy. I ball with him the 9 game, and it's incredible feeling. So this is my best remembers on the PBA.
Mm-hmm. So we've got one last question. We're trying to sort of have an interesting question that can spark a bit of debate. So if you have the opportunity to bowl doubles with any bowler to ever live, who are you going to bowl that? Who are you going to pick to be your doubles partner, and why?
Yeah, I win. For example, I win 2 doubles on the promotion tour. The first is with the Russian players. It's Sergei Andreev, and the second is Phil Hurst from the Netherlands. But for answer your question, if it is possible, I play with Pete Weber because it's the more charismatic players, and if it is possible, I bowl with Pete.
Bruno, we'd like to thank you for your time. It's been great, and you to hear about the promotion tour and your career. Thank you for coming on the podcast. We're very much looking forward to next year's promotion tour, another 9 or 10 months. Thank you again, and we'll leave it there. This is the end of the current edition of the SpareTime podcast. If you've enjoyed watching this, then please like and subscribe. And we're going to be doing a lot more of these podcasts in the near future. So for all of us, goodbye.
Bye.